going on, everybody? Welcome back again to another video in our 60-day challenge. Yes, I almost forgot what I was going to say. I am extremely happy to go on this next step in this next journey with you, talking about who am I? Who are you really? Let's be honest, okay? Who are you? So if you've taken your Enneagram test, I'm hoping you got some revelations from that. You also should have your sheet, your good and bad, or your weaknesses and strengths document with you, or whatever you've been writing down in your journal. Put that down in front of you right now, because we've got a lot to talk about. I've said this a few times in just these videos alone, which is simply the fact that we've got to figure out where we need to improve. What do we need to work on? You can't change unless you identify that. Unless you are very clear with what you want to change and how you want to change. Saying you're going to change doesn't really matter. You gotta take a minute and take the steps to figure that out. I've done it. I've seen it often done by others where, they say, man, I'm going to work on this and I'm going to work on that, but they don't have a goal. They don't have a reason to change. They just say they want to, and that's okay as well, but you got to be able to measure that. You got to be able to say from point A to point B is where I want to be. I'm here at A and I want to get to B. But there's things that have to happen in between, right? So if you are going somewhere you don't know, you plug the address into your GPS. The GPS points out from A to B. Where do you want to go? But then it tells you how to get there. That's what we're doing right now. We're figuring out how do we get there? What does that look like? And that's why we have to figure out who are we. So I've already shared and been very open and honest with you about where I have had and found areas I need to work on. I'm very assertive. I'm very critical. At the end of the day, I'm a perfectionist. That's my Enneagram personality, one of them. And I'm definitely a challenger. But what I gained from a lot of that from myself is this one simple thing. I can tell you, I'm very passionate. If I'm dedicated to something, I go for 100%. If it matters to me, you can ask any of my family. That part of the perfectionist is being a protector. The challenger is being a protector. And I can tell you, my family can tell you that is me. Don't mess with the people I care about. And so my passion, that passionate side of me, comes out in the wrong way because of who I am. I'm very critical. I need to be in control. I'm super assertive. I'm very direct. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's the way it's done. It's the way it's done. It's how blunt I can be. It's how very unempathetic I can be, unsympathetic I can be. And I don't recognize that. But when you stop and take a good hard look and say, wow, these words describe me. And in certain ways, they're not always good. I can still be assertive without being so cruel. I can be direct without being unkind, right? So all of that matters. And here's why it matters. If you are a believer of any kind, we all know the Sunday school lessons on the fruit of the Spirit, right? And it has all these different adjectives or really actions that we should be doing. So for me, and I'm going to rattle them off. So the fruit of the Spirit, if you know, or if you don't believe in that kind of thing, some great descriptive words that we can look at, some assets that we can apply to our life to help offset some of those critical personality traits are these: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. I can still be assertive and direct in a kind way. But you know what makes it even better is to not be assertive and not be as direct. That also shows kindness. That also will bring more peace to people in my relationships. Instead of being so confrontational, there will be peace in my relationships. By having some self-control. Have some self-control with those emotions can also be a great asset. Really, I have always believed in this fashion, specifically with these assets and this fruit of the Spirit, these terms. I believe that one builds on the other. So if I lack in the areas of love, okay, if you're the type of person, and I can only speak for the personality traits I have, if you are very critical and have to be in control, if you're that type of person, that's not always going to show love in the best ways. It's not. I'm speaking from experience. It's not. You can't control everything, and you can't control everyone. That's not showing love. So if you are a critical person, okay, if you're a very direct person, you've got to consider what parts of these, what piece of this fruit do I really want to apply to my life? We need to apply them all. But what area can I focus on that's going to help me change? Because I'm just speaking from experience, and this may not be a popular opinion. You are not gonna get all of these to mash if you're trying to squish them all together at the same time. You're gonna stress yourself out, number one, and you're gonna get frustrated because you're not seeing it. You gotta look and say, okay, I know for a fact I need to work on kindness. So that's me. So I'm gonna, again, be totally transparent. I know for a fact to help with the flaws that I see in being direct and assertive and so critical, again, in the negative part of that, because we talked about that too. You can have those things and still be a positive, but in the negative, when they affect in the negative, I need to learn to show kindness. One goal that I've made this year, and I feel like I'm attaining that, is building better friendships and more friendships and connections. And to be honest, that has been 100% about me opening up, being totally transparent with folks. And then once they've gotten to kind of know me, then I'm a little more free to be a little more blunt or a little bit more direct. But I still am considerate in thinking, how can I deliver this? How can I deliver an opinion? If they're asking for it, how can I deliver that to where it's not so harmful? I have made some amazing mom friends. I have made, I'm a baseball mama and a soccer mama now, so I've made more friends through that avenue. And I'm building on old friendships that no longer had existed for a while. So I say all of that to wrap up with this. Who you are, okay? Who you've seen and how the Enneagram personality test identified you as, man, those things don't necessarily mean that it's all good and that it's all bad. It's how you do it. It's how you deliver it. It's how you respond to it, how you react to things. For those of you that are the people pleaser, right? There's nothing wrong with that in the right frame and in the right context. If all you're doing is doing things that you are not comfortable with, or that you know you shouldn't be doing, or that you know are wrong in your viewpoint or in your mind, but you're doing it to please someone else, that's what's wrong. If you're a person that can't say no to people, that's wrong. You don't have any boundaries. You just let people kind of walk all over you. So like if you're the helper, man, there's nothing wrong. I wish I could be more caring, warm, and giving, and I'm working to build in that way. But if you're paying attention to everybody else and not yourself, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to burn yourself out. Not only you burn yourself out, you're going to become bitter at some point because all you feel like you're doing is giving, and nothing's being reciprocated, right? If you are the achiever, all right, you're all about productivity and you're all about success, and that's fantastic, man. Go out there and succeed. If you've got your mindset on something, go succeed. However, if you're so worried, image conscious, because that's one of the things it mentions about feeling worthless or insignificant, if you feel that your success relies on what you do instead of who you are, that's not beneficial to you. That's not good for you. You are great. You're fantastic. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just that type of person. You want to succeed, and it's not about what you do. It's who you are. That's what makes it successful, not the deeds. It's who you are. If you're driven and passionate to get it done, man, that's what makes it successful. Please don't mind my dog. That's just a couple of things, just a couple of examples. It's not bad. These traits are not bad, but the issue is what we're doing about them or how we're responding to them. And the fruit of the Spirit can really help with that. Those assets, love, joy, peace, kindness, faithfulness, self-control, gentleness, all those things can help you. So like if you're the individualist, right? You're creative, you're sensitive, you're unique, but your faults are a desire to be seen and understood at all times, and you tend to be jealous and moody. Well, then you're missing some self-control, and you're missing some gentleness. Not a bad thing. It's just something you got to work on. I hope this has been helpful. The next time we meet, we're going to have the pastor sitting here, and he's going to share some thoughts about, who are you? I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I hope you're gaining some great information. I look forward to seeing you in a few days. I can't wait. Catch me if I